Hello and welcome to Physics Teacher. In this video, I'm going to go over one of the labs I do with my grade 12 chemistry class in the electrochemistry unit. Now, the purpose of this lab is to establish the reduction potentials of 5 unknown metals. This will be done by measuring the voltage between various pairs of half cells. Now, if you wanted to follow along with this lab and collect the data with me and come to your own conclusions, you can download the handout I use with my class for free down in the description. So before we get started, let's go over all the equipment we're going to need to use for this lab. First, goggles and gloves. Next, we're going to need metals. So here we have zinc, copper, iron, silver, and lead. And notice how I cut them into different shapes. This helps students not to get them confused. Then I also have prepared different solutions. So I have here a 1 molar zinc sulfate solution. Here we have a 1 molar copper sulfate solution. Here we have a 1 molar silver nitrate solution. Here we have a 1 molar lead nitrate solution. And then notice I skipped iron. This is because all of these solutions store pretty well, but a solution with iron does not. So I have to create the iron sulfate solution every time I do the lab. And that solution is specifically, again, a 1 molar iron 2 sulfate solution. Then we also have one more. We have a sodium nitrate solution. And we don't have a sodium metal. We're not testing sodium metal, but this solution is going to be used in place of a salt bridge or a porous barrier. Next, we're going to need a piece of filter paper. And we're going to take each of the metals, place it around the filter paper, and then cut out their own little sections. So why don't you come in a little closer so we can see how we do this. So we're going to take each metal and place them as evenly as we can. Doesn't have to be perfect. Around our filter paper. And then, I'm not the best artist, but we're going to mark out a middle section. And then we're going to cut out to that middle section these own little sections here. And this is because underneath each metal, I'm going to place its corresponding solution. And I just don't want those solutions coming over and mixing with the other metals. All right, now we're going to label them. So this is going to be copper, and I'm going to call copper M1, or metal 1. This one's zinc, and it's metal 2. Lead will be metal 3. Silver will be metal 4. And finally, iron will be metal 5. All right, let's grab some scissors and cut these out. All right, now that that is done, we're going to go through each solution and place 2 or 3 drops. So let's start with our silver nitrate on our silver. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to push the silver metal on top of it. Make sure the other side of the metal, the side facing up, remains dry. All right, next we have our lead. So 1, 2, 3. Next, we have our copper. 1, 2, 3. Then our zinc. 1, 2, 3. Finally, let's go get that iron solution we've pre-prepared. So I have this one over here on a magnetic stir, just continuously running, because if I stop it, within 5 minutes, it's just not going to be a very good solution anymore. All right, let's go back. So our iron, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to take our sodium nitrate and use it as our bridge all the way to the middle. Make sure not to put it on top of any metal. Remember, we want those to remain dry. Okay, now we're ready to start measuring potentials. So for our first data table, and you can see that here, I performed this experiment about 5 minutes ago, but I'm doing it again for you. We'll have new numbers, but we are going to use copper as a reference metal. Okay, so what we're going to do is check the potential across copper and across each other metal one at a time. Now, if the reading on the voltmeter comes up negative, we're going to switch our leads. Once we get a positive value, the positive lead will be our cation and the negative lead will be our anions. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, so red's going to be positive, black's going to be negative. Let's try copper with zinc. All right, so that's a positive value. So copper is positive and zinc's negative, and our potential, 0.888. Now let's do it with lead. All right, same thing. Potential 0.434. With silver, we're getting a negative value this time, so let's switch it. That means copper is now our anion, and silver is our cation. And our potential is 0.465. With, copper being our anode and silver being our cathode. Don't know why I was saying ion. All right, let's try iron. Oh, we're going to have to switch that. So copper is back to being the cathode. And iron is our anode with a potential of 0.58. It just wants to keep slowly going up. 0.58879. Come on. 0.5. Okay, let's just choose a point to stop this. 0.594. There we go. Now, once you have that table in, you can fill out the next table in proper order. So because we use copper as our reference metal, we're going to set that equal to 0 volts. Okay, so copper is going to be 0 volts. And to figure out the reduction potential, you're going to do the cathode minus the anode. So if we go back to the data I did in the previous lab, for the first one, cathode minus anode, Okay, this will be our potential that we'll take for our anode. So it'll be 0 minus zinc, which is 0.904. So zinc is negative 0.904. And we're going to put them all in order from lowest to highest. Notice silver is positive because silver is the one I had to switch the leads on. So silver is our cathode, whereas copper is our anode. So in this case, we're doing 0.482 minus 0. So that's our positive one. So let's put them all in there. And then, let's not look at my results yet, or my percent error, but you can see the percent error is pretty good. Okay. Oh, no, these are the results. Okay, so we're going to predict what the potentials should be. So to predict the potentials, you're going to do the highest reduction minus the lowest reduction. So for example, we're going to do M2 and M3, which we have as zinc and lead. Okay, so zinc and lead. Okay, so do lead, subtract negative 0.902, and that is what we'll get. So once you have all of these in, for the data we've been doing for the second run, let's now measure what these values are. And then you can determine your percent difference. So we're going to start with M2 and M3, zinc and lead. Okay, it's negative, let's switch it. We get 0.417. Next, M2 and M4, so zinc and silver. We get 1.311. Next, 2 and 5, so zinc and iron. Now careful, that's not 282. If you look at the units, it does say millivolts. So if we're converting that to volts, that's 0.27. And iron loves to just change on me. Let's just stop it at 4, 0.274. Next, we're going to do 3 and 4. So lead and silver. So 0.910. And now we're going to do 3 and 5. And again, that's in millivolts, so that would be 0.143. Let's just stop it there. And then we are going to do 4 and 5, so silver and iron. And we get 1.033. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that lab. If you do, go ahead and do the calculations. Let me know what the percent error was for that second time around. See if it was as good as the first time around. And if you want to see any other labs or tutorials, just go check out the playlist on my channel, because I'm there to help all of you in high school STEM courses. Thanks for watching.